So here we are at the Chandelier. This is, as he said, my first time hosting, but my 25th time at the buffet. I gotta be honest with you. Belleville, New Jersey, it's where I grew up. Some might say I never grew up, but this is where I grew up. Belleville, back in the day, was a tough town. A lot of people don't know that. And it was tough. As a matter of fact, it was so tough. The Chandelier used to serve broken leg of lamb. That's how tough it was. If you think that's bad, you should have seen the finger sandwiches. One time I almost broke my tooth on a pinky ring. But no, tough town, Belleville, New Jersey. Like I said, growing up, it was beautiful. Italian family, but I'll get to that in a minute. First thing I want to tell you is, how about this technology thing? I think it's here to stay, technology. Did you hear about this thing that's called the Facebook? Anybody hear about it? Right? You know about it, sir? Facebook is unbelievable. Facebook is really unbelievable. Growing up in the 80s, me and my friends, I was wingman for a lot of guys. Sharp guys. I'm talking about guys that get a girl every time they go out. Unbelievable. And the amazing thing was, they have grown up now. They got married. They have family of their own. And now I got to see this on Facebook, going to the market with my wife. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy was banging 3 broads a night, and now all of a sudden he's going to the market with his wife. Where did this come from? The Facebook. But I got to say one thing. I'm very proud. I got my parents here tonight. Thank you. That's what happens when you're old. People start clapping for you. Nice. And I have to say one thing, I'm very impressed. My mother is actually on Facebook. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And I'm going to tell you why. Think about it. When she was growing up, she didn't even have a calculator. She had a fucking abacus. Right? 4 + 4. I mean, think about it. Hasbro Kites is here, right? They're on Facebook. We know that for a fact, right? That's how you knew about tonight, Facebook. But what I'm really impressed with is my father's now coming into the technology age. Yeah, he's jumping on the bandwagon. My sister and her husband bought him an Amazon Echo. Does anybody know what that is? Yeah. All right, it's that little tower. It's sort of like Siri is for the iPhone, but it's Alexa, I think her name is. Yeah. Alexa rocks. Yeah. My father didn't know it. I walked in on him one time, and he was having a conversation with the Amazon Echo. It's the funniest thing. I caught him. I caught him good. There was nobody in the house. I walked in real quiet, and here he is. He's the original ball buster, and here he is. He goes, Alexa, Lexa Rooney, Lexa Ria. He's calling her different names, like she's going to answer him. And now he's breaking balls. He goes, what's easier, roast beef or the pea soup? I'm like, what's the guy talking about? He's asking a question. I said, you can't do that. You can't fuck with Alexa. Didn't you see 2001: A Space Odyssey? I mean, this thing will turn on you before you know it. The machines in your house are all going to be going haywire and everything. But yeah, I caught him, and I guess it's only fair because, he caught me. He did he almost caught me. When I was 13 years old, this is a true story, I'm in my room, and he almost broke down the door, and he said, son, stop what you're doing. Don't you know you can go blind that way? And I said, Dad, I'm over here. I'm sorry, you're the one with the glasses. I got the 20/20 vision. As I said before, might not come as a shock to you, I am Italian American, very, very proud of it. Thank you very much. Wow. Belleville, New Jersey, we got some Italians in here. I can't believe it. Now, for the Medigans in the audience, there's a documentary. This is serious. There's a documentary that's out there that you should all see just to learn about the Italian culture. Sometimes it's on HBO, sometimes Showtime. They play. It doesn't matter where you tune in, the beginning, middle. You'll love the movie, and it really talks about the Italian culture. It's called The Godfather. Anybody ever see it? Documentary. One person saw it. You're full of shit. Anyway, growing up Italian was amazing, and I will tell you this: the food is what I can't believe. Italians will eat anything, anything, and I'm going to prove it to you. Cappuccino. Yeah. You know what cappuccino is? What's cappuccino?
Sheep's head.
It's lamb's brains. It's the whole head, but they eat the brains. Let me take, you talk to the screen when you go to the movies, young lady? I'm working here. Capuzzo, I'm going to take you back. This is how I picture it. Italy, 50 BC. The Caesar brothers are in their backyard. You know, Julius and Augustus. They're looking out into the pasture. Julius looks at Augustus. He says, hey, what are we going to do for dinner tonight? Augustus says, same thing, salad. What? Salad to the Caesar brothers. No tomatoes. You got it? Okay, I'm just helping you along. This is salad. What else? Julius looks out there and he says, look at that lamb over there. What do you say we strangle the son of a bitch and eat its brains? Augustus said, that's the worst idea you've ever had. And Julius said, well, what other bad ideas have I had? He said, don't you remember the time? He says, whoa, whoa, whoa. He goes, you laugh, but I'm telling you, someday there's going to be a palace with our names on it, and senior citizens are going to come from all over. You know what I'm getting at? Spending their Social Security checks for games of chance. And Augustus just looked at Julius and said, just eat your fucking salad. Capuzzo, that's how it started, the Caesar brothers. We eat anything. Italians will eat anything. Alich. Come on, Alich. You go to Ralph's Pizzeria down in Nutley, and you go tell Gus that I sent you there because I get a little piece. I get a commission. And Gus will give you a pizza with anchovies on it. When it comes to the table, it's a piece of bread with hairy fish. Think about it. We'll eat anything. Alich. Mushrooms. Who eats mushrooms? Fungus. As a matter of fact, the Italian word for mushroom is fungi. You know what, Gus? Forget about the alich. I changed my mind. Give me a pizza. Put as much fungus as you can on top of there. I mean, fungus. Mushrooms. You know, every year a certain amount of people die from poison mushrooms. It's a fact. I had an Uncle Al. Uncle Al was married 4 times. Each of his wives, terrible deaths. Terrible, terrible deaths. Uncle Al would go to Hendricks Field right down the street. He'd pick the mushrooms. And back in the day, they had the old pots. You remember the old pots? And back then, quarters were made out of silver. And you throw the quarter in the pot. And what happens is, if the quarter turns black, you're not supposed to eat the mushrooms. Well, this quarter stayed silver. You remember this? You don't remember. This time the quarter was silver. Uncle Al served it to everybody. And Aunt Millie was the only one that got the poison mushroom. Died. Bang. He marries again, Aunt Marie. 3 years later, she dies of poison mushrooms. Matter of fact, his 3rd wife died of mushroom poisoning. And now it all makes sense to me. His 4th wife, she died from a severe blow to the head. She wouldn't eat the fucking mushrooms. We'll eat anything. Somebody told me the other day, I know it's not true, but somebody told me the other day the word penne means penis in Italian. I know it doesn't. Somebody told me it does. Gianni, it does? He says, yes, it does. Now it all makes sense to me. It makes sense. Evidently, when they were making pasta, different shapes and sizes, somebody said, oh, look how cute. Look at the little penne. And then he made a dozen of them, and he said, hey, Angie, you want some penne? And she probably said whatever she said. But now I get it, because when my wife and I, we go out to dinner, what do you think happens? She orders the penne vodka because she wants the tie one on, and she likes it al dente. How about crabs? I want to wipe that right. Who's the first guy that looked at a crab and he said, oh, there's some tasty meat in this thing? Who would eat a crab? First of all, it's named after a venereal disease. Could you see it? I'll be at my favorite restaurant. You know, Rosillo's in West Cornwall. Anybody been there? West Cornwall? I'll be sitting there, and Enzo will come over and say, what do you want to eat tonight? And I'll say, well, let me think about this. I'll try the veal piccata. I'll have the Caesar salad, you know, from the joke before. I'll have the Caesar salad. You still don't get that one. And let me try the chlamydia on the half shell. What do you mean you're out of chlamydia? All right, the gonorrhea oregano, and that's it. That's it. I can't eat anymore. Think about it. Crabs. Friends gonna eat crabs. Food has made me what I am today. A little bit on the heavy side. I don't know if you noticed. Is this in? Could you see me behind me? Okay. I was a little worried. I don't want to. Good seat. Good seat, but I don't want to spoil the show for you. Growing up as a kid, we had to shop Rimmerma at the Husky section. Yes. Now that's not politically correct anymore. But there used to be a section in stores called Husky. And I was very happy about that because I thought, hey, I was like an Alaskan dog or something. Hey, they're beautiful, right? The Husky section. And I had an aunt. She lived far away, so at Christmas time she used to mail me my gifts. And she always thought I was bigger than I really was. One Christmas she sent me a polo shirt. It had a real fucking horse on it. That's how big the shirt was. She was 400 pounds herself, so for her birthday, I sent her an IZOD. She was up to her ass in alligators that year. Let me ask you a question. Doesn't anybody work anymore? No. During the day, I go to Panera. There's 43 people there having coffee, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Nobody works. What do you people do? Nobody works. I heard a great story. A woman retired after 50 years with the same company. You don't hear about that anymore. That's unbelievable. Started in the mailroom, worked herself up, retired after 50 years. Started at 18 years old. Beautiful. Me, 51 years old. I had 51 jobs. I wanted to get into sales. So I said, let me try Walmart. First job at Walmart, I'm like 17 years old. Manager stayed in there. He said, kid, today we're going to teach you how to upsell. I said, upsell, what does that mean? He says, upsell. You know what upsell is. I said, no, you got to teach me. I'm new. Tell me. He says, see that guy over there wants to buy grass seed? Come with me. We walk over. Says to the guy, sir, you're interested in grass seed? He says, yeah, I am. He says, beautiful. He says, let me interest you in a lawnmower. The guy said, lawnmower? I don't want a lawnmower. I'm just here to buy some grass seed. He said, but sir, this is the off season. Lawnmowers are almost half price. And someday that grass is going to grow. You're going to have to cut it. And the guy says, that's wonderful. He said, I'll take it. And he gives me a wink. Upsell. Now it's your turn. Guy walks up to me. We're in Walmart. Says, you work here? I said, yeah, I work here. He says, can you do me a favor? Tell me where the tampons are. I said, tampons? Oh yeah, aisle 13. Come on, I'll walk over there with you. And meanwhile, the manager's looking at me the whole way. He's going, upsell, upsell. Yeah, I know, upsell. Walk over to it, and the guy picks out the tampons for his wife. And I said, can I interest you in a lawnmower? And that's what the manager did. He just shook his head and laughed. And the guy said, lawnmower? I'm here to buy tampons for my wife. What do I need a lawnmower for? I said, well, seeing as how you're not getting laid this weekend, the least thing you could do is mow the lawn. I fucked that up. I got fired from that job. Then I go to work for Channel Lumber. You remember Channel Lumber? Home Depot put all those things out of business now, and Lowe's. But Channel Lumber. I'm behind the counter. Beautiful blonde walks in. I'm not even there 2 weeks. Across the room, she says, I want to buy a hinge. Me, being young, naive, I don't know. I says, you want a screw for that hinge? She says, no, but I'll blow you for a hammer. Got fired from that job. I said, this isn't working, so I got to go into something that I know pretty good. Food, right? What's my favorite food? Ice cream. I go to work for Carvel. Guy walks into Carvel. He says, we're almost at closing time. He says, listen. He says, I want some chocolate ice cream in a cup. I says, sir, I'm sorry. The manager doesn't let us fill it. It's this late at night. We're all out. You got to come back tomorrow. He goes, oh, okay, no problem, no problem. You know what? Instead, give me a chocolate cone. I said, sir, you're not getting it. I just told you, maybe they didn't go up there and tell you, we're out of chocolate ice cream. We have no more left. He's all right, then give me a chocolate shake. Now I'm pissed off. I say to the guy, listen, do me a favor. Spell the van in vanilla. He says V-A-N. I said, good, that's good. I said, now can you spell the straw in strawberry? He says S-T-R-A-W. I said, perfect. Now can you spell the fuck in chocolate? The guy said, there's no fucking chocolate. I said, that's what I've been trying to tell you. I got fired from that job. Hasbro Kites, did you hear about this coach in Ridgewood? The guy in Ridgewood, okay, I'm not making this up and you can't make this up. Ridgewood soccer team, the guy is brought up on charges. You ready for this? 200 counts of licking his player's ear. It's a girls' soccer team. That's not funny. You people are sick. Now listen, I got 2 daughters. If anybody's tongue comes within a mile of their ears, I will take a Louisville Slugger and do a Sonny Corleone up and down Bloomfield Avenue. You'll never see it, all right? Yeah! Okay? I'll make a fucking pinata out of this guy. But the good news is I read the rest of the article. He's going to be sentenced next week. Sentenced? This guy should be fucking paragraphed. 200 counts. You see, a paragraph was made up of a lot of sentences. My God, this is a tough chandelier. I don't know who's going to be this tough. I don't know.
Everybody's related to you, Lou.
I'm gonna say this about the guy. I mean, he must be doing something right because the team is pretty successful. They were 11-2. I just thought of something. They should name the team Timex. Why? Because the girls took a licking and kept on kicking. We got a great show for you tonight. First up, you've seen her all over. She's at the Comedy Cove tomorrow night and at the Looney Bin on Saturday. Let's give it up for Missy Allen. Missy Allen.